Welcome. This is a recording of adults playing or talking about tabletop games. This means that adult language and/or themes may occur within that could be seen as inappropriate for younger audiences. Thank you. Hey guys, Verci here. I just wanted to go over the campaign the other night. This is actually a delayed response. I just kind of forgot about doing a commentary. A lot of school stuff was going on, and so I got a little bit delayed on everything. So now I wanted to go over everything with you guys. The session was a little bit of an odd one. I wanted to give the players a lot of combat and to kind of like get a feel for the characters, mainly because Steven had a brand new character and he never really got to have combat with his character, like full fledged, got to kill stuff and enjoy the combat up to this point. But also, it was kind of a setting to kind of let the players understand that humanity is at war and that they're expendable in some ways. So overall, I think the session was good. It wasn't very progressive as far as the story went, but the players got to enjoy themselves and just kill a bunch of stuff. And that's always good every once in a while. They had a couple really intense RP sessions, a lot of mental gymnastics, and now is a chance for them to really get into it. With that being said, though, I did feel that combat was just a smidge too long. I wanted to be just a tad shorter, and it actually ended up being just about right, but I predicted the players to figure things out a little bit faster than they did, and that didn't connect well, which caused an extra wave to get through, or at least most of the wave, and so they had a little bit more combat. I wanted them to meet the big baddie at the end a little bit sooner, and it took a little bit. But it was still good, and they got to kind of just kill a bunch of stuff. Um, Basically, the way that the night was supposed to work, which it did for the most part, was I wanted them to kind of explore the station, kind of give them a little bit more of a sandboxy feel because I've been very heavily leading at this point, and I kind of want them to realize that they can interact with the environments around them and they can do stuff. So, as far as like what they were doing, they got to do a little bit with the blacksmith guy and a little bit, get some weapons, an extra shotgun for Pika, which helped him out significantly as far as the game goes. So that was kind of interesting. Excuse me. Um, so, they get to do a little bit of that, talk about random people, see how they wanted to go about gathering the information, and kind of see that their characters would do things a little bit differently as far as that goes. As far as their progression with Abigail went, there was a little bit of a shift, and I felt it was a good shift, where she, while still, I think, disliked, gained their respect in combat because she didn't go to where they were and hide behind them and just shoot guns. She waited right in there and started swinging, or in this case, shooting. And when all the demons got around her, she pulled a grenade and just ate the big grenade without much issue, which was kind of a really cool effect and kind of, I think, gave them a little bit more of an understanding that they can do cool and exciting things with their characters besides like what a normal human would survive. That the rules are a little bit beyond the normal spectrum of normalcy. That they can be heroes, that they can do cool things, that there is magic in this game, and it reaches more than just can I manifest it. It's more the I have magic and therefore I can survive things that no one should ever live through, like a hand grenade kind of situation. And I think that she gained their respect and showed them that at the same time. And I think that was really beneficial for them. Also, they got to see a lot more like danger behind the stunt points and a lot more tactics when using them. They didn't get to do them, but my demons did. I'd probably say my favorite part of the session was either Abigail's holy hand grenade, or I think I threw Ren 4 or 5 times two other demons so that they could then do it as well. And I literally kind of like threw her repeatedly ragdoll across the way to deal with to have multiple demons hit her and get her away from the group. So that was good. Also, another really good thing about the entire situation was that they started using cover more. They used the doorways. I wanted the mechanic where bodies were actually rough terrain, and that's why I kind of like in the beginning, like I'm sure all of you were like, "Man, why do you put all these tokens up there?" It's because it made moving a frickin' bitch to move around, and they really started to see that at the end, after like the entire field was littered with corpses, that it was really difficult to really get around and to get over things, because it's not easy to step over something that mushes and shifts and doesn't sit still and whatnot like that. Bodies are not easily traversable terrain, so that was pretty cool. Other than that, there's not really much more to say. All the players now are going to be level 4, so they're going to get specializations, which are, as far as Dungeons and Dragons are concerned, they're kind of like the main classes. So, like in Dungeons and Dragons, depending on what edition you play, like Ren is now a barbarian. So she's a fighter, but she also has the specialization of being a barbarian. Um, like you can choose, do you like for the rogues, do you want to be an assassin or a sharpshooter? Both kind of do the same thing, but they go about it in different ways. You're not just a rogue. You're something a lot better, a lot stronger, a lot more different, a lot cooler. And they actually get to do this a couple times as they level. There's like another one at approximately level 12, so they kind of get to do multiple specializations. Sorry. And it's kind of a really cool thing that you don't like it's kind of like multi-classing, but like they forcibly multi-class you. And I also built some new classes for them to really dive into, and a couple of players are like, "Oh man, I totally can't do this. That sucks." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you can at 12 because now you know that you should have the stats for this." So they got pretty excited about, like, even though they like some of them didn't get exactly what they wanted, they're like, "Man, this is really cool, but I need a lot more intelligence for it." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, you do. So what does that mean?" And they're like, "Okay." And like I showed them how if they take their off points and they invest them in intelligence, they can get that really cool thing by level 12 easily. And that's really cool because now they have like something still to strive for, and they know that there's still really cool things that can come up, and they can still have a really good time in the meantime with the weird things that they have coming up. One thing I will say is that I made a major mistake tonight. I actually had two Abigail sheets, two character sheets for Abigail, and I picked the wrong one while they were fighting. She is, she's like the one I had was actually my worksheet for her, and she was like half rogue and half fighter in it, and that wasn't supposed to happen. I realized that I used the the worksheet versus her actual character sheet, so that caused it didn't actually change anything except for like her flourish. Um, so it's fixed now, but after the session, I'm looking and I'm like, why does this say that she's supposed to be this? She's supposed to be this, and then I looked and I'm like, oh crap, I totally mislabeled the other sheet, and I'm using the wrong sheet. So we'll retcon that next session. It was completely my fault. It didn't change anything. She still was a badass. Like I didn't give her like pinpoint accuracy or anything stupid like that, even though she was a fighter. I didn't break anything like that, but just the concept on like how she was supposed to deal with a situation was supposed to be a lot different. And I played her like she was supposed to be played, but I just didn't get. I did, which means I basically made her weaker because I didn't use her to her optimum capabilities. So we'll fix that next time. She's supposed to be a lot more tankier, which is kind of why I played her the way I did and let them all surround her and kind of wail on her a little bit. That was completely intended, and I made a mistake on that entire thing. So yeah, that was a thing. So you'll see a little bit more of that. She actually carries a shield, or she was supposed to start carrying a shield when she showed up for that fight, and I totally forgot about it because I was using the wrong sheet. But when she got to the point where the demons surrounded her, because at some point I figured that she was going to get gangbanged, she was supposed to pull out the shield and just hunker down hardcore. Um, she's not actually a um, anti mage. She's a guardian, and she's supposed to basically, in Dungeons and Dragons terms, it'd be like a dwarven defender, where literally she can like boost her own defense and everyone around her, and even take damage for other people and stuff like that. Like, anytime something would hit them, like she jumps in the way and just takes it. And it was actually intended to be that way specifically to allow the players to actually like her more, um, because while she is kind of a prick, it's really for the good of humanity, and I really kind of wanted to play that a lot better, and I made a mistake on that. So my fault on that. You guys will see more of that in the future. She is going to be with them for a little bit, not too long, but it's kind of my way of getting to play the game too, besides just trying to kill the players. Um, I get to play an NPC here and there, and bring them along for a session or two, and then leave them behind, and that way I keep things fresh for me. And if the players come back to those locations, then they do, but they have to get back to their own station before Abigail's gonna disappear. So, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the session, and can't wait for you guys to see what I have planned. The main part of the story, the real story, the big plot, is finally going to be unveiled, and we're going to see how that all works. So, hope you guys enjoy, and I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.